Hi, I'm Abigail Alberto. I'm a senior here at PCA and I also serve as a Unity Prefect and a small group leader. I'm here to recap some events from October. So recently we had our homecoming week, which was a great success with a lot of fun, memorable experiences and crazy costumes. We had some great performances from our upper school athletes on Saturday, highlighted by volleyball's big win over Farmington on Whiteout Night on Friday. Women's soccer's 2-1 win over Concord Christian, Jonas Teeter and Brianna Malone's individual wins on the cross-country trails, and finally our staff and faculty team won their 5th straight Dig Pink championship, beating out a very talented alumni team and varsity volleyball team en route to their victory. And I'm sure you've seen that we have also welcomed back Eli on campus for the first time in a while, and it's obvious he made the most of his time in quarantine. Standing around 7 feet tall and clearly being much stronger than when he left, Eli made his big debut at our lower and upper school pep rallies on Friday of homecoming week, and he was a big hit. You'll see Eli walking around a little more often this year. This week, he paid a visit to our first graders with a little note to thank them for welcoming him on campus during homecoming week. Our third graders dissected squid early in October, with help from some parent volunteers and a couple familiar faces in Miss Phoenix and Miss Lund. The students learned about the inner anatomy of the squid and saw God's handiwork down to the smallest organs. Our annual speech meets were held in the middle of October, with students beginning to hone their public speaking skills by reciting poems and short stories from memory in front of their classmates. Congratulations to all our winners of this year's speech meet. We are so proud of all of our students for being courageous and taking the first step towards mastering a very important life skill. Black Box and spring musical auditions were held in mid-October, with students in the lower school, junior high, and upper school all auditioning for 3 shows: Everything But, At the Bottom of Lake Missoula, and Arlecchino's Big Mistake. Be on the lookout for Black Box tickets later on this year. 2 of our senior volleyball players hit career milestones in the 3rd week of October. Maddie Kniffer became the school's all-time leader in aces following a win against Trinity High, and Joey Skubish added another accomplishment to her season resume, hitting the 300 mark in kills. At the time of this recording, women's soccer is hosting Epping in the preliminary round. Varsity volleyball received a first-round bye and looks to host the quarterfinal round this Friday, October 29th. Our men's cross-country team won their conference for the first time in school history last Friday. The PCA boys had 4 runners in the top 10: Jonas Teeter, Sam Harrington, Luke O'Halloran, and Yvonne Sturgis. The girls' team placed second and was led by Brianna Malone, who won the girls' race by 2 minutes. Cross-country moves on to the division championships this Saturday.
Thanks, Abigail. That's a great recap. Now let's look ahead into November and some of the highlights of what you can expect and how you can plug into the community. Starting in the first week of November, Dr. Lawrence is going to keep us going in her life series when she talks to us parents about curiosity and how we can continue to inspire it. The same night, for our upper school families in particular, is we're going to host an event to help us understand financing college campus financing 101. As we close out the week, on the first week, we have lower school award ceremony. Parents, you're going to be invited to participate and watch some of that. Note that we're going to recognize your sons and daughters for their accomplishments, not only academically, but also according to our core values. The things here at PCA in terms of character and spiritual life that we really emphasize. And then we'll close out on Saturday with our all-school open house. Already we have many families like yours that are interested. Thank you for spreading the good word. We look forward to welcoming many new families to PCA already for the coming year, starting on the 6th of November. As we head into week 2, the major theme is parent-teacher conferences and Veterans Day. So let's talk parent-teacher conferences first. So already you can start to see links in the Now News of the Week asking you moms and dads to sign up for your parent-teacher conferences. This is such an important and valuable time where you get to talk with your child's teacher about how they're growing and how we can continue to partner together. It's a highlight for us, really sets the foundation for the rest of the year. We look forward to seeing you on campus for those events, for those conferences. And then right in the middle of that, right on the 10th, is we have Veterans Day. That's how we're going to celebrate it. We know Veterans Day is on the 11th. We're commemorating it here on the 10th. We're starting off at 6:15 in the morning with a hero workout led by our principal at the upper school, Jordan Heckelman. If you're not familiar with the hero workout, it comes out of the crossover community, but to honor those who have served We do a really fun group workout in honor of those, again, who served, and especially those who have given their life for our country. Later on in the morning, you're invited to a Veterans Day chapel here. It's a big event for our musicians and our students as they recognize the service of our veterans and their families. So if you're a veteran or know of a veteran, we'd love to welcome the veterans here on campus. We have a series of refreshments and coffee, and then a special time after the chapel of just gathering together as veterans and hearing about your service. As we enter into the third week of November, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Our PCAPers are starting off with their celebration that week. We're also starting with winter sports. And so pay attention to our big team's calendar of when and where to be if you're interested in playing basketball or doing winter track. All the highlights are on that calendar. It's starting that third week of November. We're going to close out that week on the 19th, Friday, here at the upper school with worship night led by our upper school students. It's just for our upper school students this time because in the spring, we're setting the stage for inviting other schools and other churches to be involved in a worship night here. But again, upper school students 7 and 9 on Friday the 19th, just as we step off for Thanksgiving holidays. The fourth week of November is yours. Moms and dads, families, grandparents. It's Thanksgiving week. And for the second year in a row, we're taking the entire week of Thanksgiving, and it's your time. It's a great time of rest and reflection on God's provision for us individually as families and as a school and more broadly as a community. And we're so thankful, again, to have you here. We're also thankful to welcome back some of our alumni as they come back and play basketball. It's a tradition here that the alumni come back, and just as our winter basketball teams are forming, is that we play each other and scrim each other and help us tune up. Plus, we just love seeing you back, wherever you may be, back from campus, back from seeing family in the area. Again, happy Thanksgiving, week 4 of November. And finally, as we turn the corner, sort of the last few days of November heading into December, a couple of key things to be looking forward to. So the first is right at the end of that month, you're going to be hearing about opportunities to connect again with community. We're able to do that a bit with Veterans Day, which is the big community event. At the end is how do we decorate the campus for Christmas? Be on the lookout on the volunteer page of how to connect, sign up. We'd love to have you here. It's a wonderful time as we really turn the campus into a Christmas, God-glorifying place to come. A lot of fun here. You're invited to join us. At the same time, we see that our winter sports programs are really kicking off. First games are in that first week of December. In our fine arts drama program, Black Box Theater starts for our 4th graders through our 12th graders. So auditions happened in October. They're finishing up right here at the end of the month. And those casts will begin their rehearsals. Again, pay attention if you have a son or daughter involved, 4th through 12th grade in our winter theater production, Black Box Theater. First practices early December. So a lot going on in all of November as we turn the corner into December and Christmas season. We're so thankful for you. Look forward to seeing you on campus at a playoff game, at a community event. So God bless you as you go. Go Eagles. So as we just wrapped up, looking forward to what's coming up in November and early December, we also really wanted to drill down and talk about another key aspect of our school, and that's our fine arts, specifically our drama program. And I'm here with 2 of our actors and actresses here, Owen McKinney and Julie Stevens. And for those who don't know, we just finished tryouts and auditions for Black Box. We're going to talk about what Black Box is, because before I came to PCA, I had no idea what Black Box was, but also our spring musical. But Owen and Julie, tell us a little bit about yourselves and why you're interested in drama here at PCA. Owen, why don't you start?
I've been doing drama since the 4th grade, and I've been doing it outside of PCA for a little bit longer with my church. There's just always something that's drawn me to about it with the whole community aspect, the way that we all kind of work together to not only get into character, but how our characters interact with each other. That stage presence, that's a really fun feeling, and just getting to work with a team like that, it's a lot of fun. I think that, and the fact that all of my older siblings did it, so it was kind of a we're going to beat you up if you don't do it. Not really, of course, but my siblings were a big influence in that too. I always watched them having a lot of fun with it, and they were always a huge influence on me growing up, so I thought, oh, that'd be fun, and as it turns out, it was.
That's great. That's great. Julie?
Yeah, like Owen, I've kind of grown up in like a fine arts family, so just drama was another thing that really kind of looked fun, and it is really fun. That's kind of just what draws me to it, really. But besides that is the community. I love like acting with people that like I see every day, and it's just a lot of growth in the theater too, just as people and working together. And so yeah, I just grew up kind of enjoying the aspect of theater, and this is actually the first year I'm going to like really do black box. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm excited. And
So have you done, what's some of the highlights of your background in theater at PCA or outside of PCA?
I think I've only done it at PCA, but I've really enjoyed it. I've usually done the musical, so
Okay. Your
yeah.
favorite?
My favorite, I think last year was really fun when I played Flotsam and my friend Skylar played Jetsam.
That's in Little Mermaid. Yeah. So that was the new spring musical. Yeah. How about you, Owen? What are some of your favorite roles here at PCA or other places?
I think my favorite role is either Michael and Mary Poppins. I did that my 6th grade year. That was my first spring show, and that was a lot of fun just because I got to work with a lot of new kids. I also liked being the ugly duckling in Honk. I mean, getting called ugly wasn't the best part of the gig, obviously,
Sure.
but it was a lot of fun. Honk Jr. is basically a spin on the show, The Ugly Duckling, a little spin on the story, but I got to do a lot of stuff with characters I haven't gotten to do before. It was very new to me, and it was a very fun environment to be in terms of trying stuff out.
So go back to Mary Poppins, 6th grade. Was that the spring musical?
That was the spring musical, yes. That was
6th grader in the spring musical? Because that's not a normal thing. I mean, one of the spring musicals are big sort of finale events for like a high school. But in your experience, you guys have been here at PCA a while. So how does that work? How does the drama program work, and we integrate high school grades, middle school grades?
It's fun getting to work with the younger kids. I'm glad that we do, because as someone who is a younger kid, getting to learn from a lot of my peers and those who had acting experience prior was a really nice experience. Getting to work with people who have since graduated, our alumni like Luke Beal, Christian Knightley, Cam Knightley, etc., those guys who really knew what they were doing and showed me the ropes and a lot of what to do. I don't think I would be where I am acting if it wasn't for them, so it was great getting to work with those people, and I look forward to working with our junior hires because I think they have a lot of talent down there.
Yeah,
Okay.
I definitely agree with Owen. Yeah, like in junior high, it kind of set the stage for high school, and if I just started drama in high school, I wouldn't be where I am right now.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like being in junior high, it kind of gives you the experience of like before going into high school.
Yeah. Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. So, Julie, you're doing it. It's chilly out here.
Yeah.
She's hanging in there. Julie, what is Black Box?
Well, I think Black Box is really just a simple layout of drama production, but with not much set, not much like curtains or anything, so you really focus on the acting.
Okay.
And it's not as extravagant, but like you can really hold on to the story because of that simple view of it.
Yeah. Okay. So, Owen, what's the show that you and Julie are part of? I'll go back to Julie. What's your role, and then Julie, what's your role in this show?
So our show is one written by our wonderful director, Miss Kelly Connors. I, for the life of me, cannot remember what it is called off the top of my head.
What's it about?
It's about, okay, I read over the script, and it took me a minute, but it's basically about...
Here, I can chip in.
I'll be honest. You're talking to
Yeah, it's called Arlecchino's Big Mistake.
Okay.
And so from the name, you can probably tell it's like Italian more, and it's in the form of a commedia dell'arte. So it's like a romantic story, but with some comedy thrown in there.
Okay.
So that's kind of the like Italian style she's going for, and I think this year she really wants to introduce us to that.
Okay.
Because as actors, it's important to explore different kinds of theater.
Right.
And so, yeah, it's like about a servant, Arlecchino. He makes a mistake, and it's like in the middle of like proposals and love, and just like that mixture between love and comedy is like very present in the play.
Okay. And how big is the cast? I mean, the two of you are obviously...
It's not a huge cast. We have 8, 9 actors, 8 or 9, I think. We don't even dip into the double digits. Yeah, it's...
What's your role?
My character is the character that you just mentioned, the servant. I am the servant's owner.
Okay.
Well, I shouldn't say owner. The servant's master, I guess, is the term I'm looking for there. And so I go off and I go to this party looking for this lady, I think. And I'm trying to get to know more about her.
I think I'm that lady.
Yeah.
So you guys haven't really met. You haven't begun rehearsals yet.
No.
So when are rehearsals and when does it go on stage?
We don't know yet for the Winter Black Box. I don't think they've given us...
I think around December 1st, like early December.
Okay.
We'll start rehearsals, and then I think we'll go on to festival.
In March?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
So I think producing for us, it's a winter production, ladies and gentlemen, for us here on campus. We typically do it in Troiano, so it's a more intimate setting. You'll get to see them perform. We did a really good one. Hopefully we can link it to you from last year, at least the highlights of Black Box last year. But talk about festival. So have either of you been to the Black Box Festival?
I have never... Actually, that's a lie. I've watched it.
Okay.
I've been to it to go see my older sister Kaylee be in it. And basically how competition works is you can buy tickets for certain time frames, and there's the set of judges, and all day there's a bunch of different schools that come in, and they'll all do their show once. So they get basically like their one shot to prove we're really good, you should pick us for an award, and to move on to other things. So your goal is basically act really well, do your show again, but even better. We do practice a little bit in between the end of our showing here and that, but yeah, everybody just shows up for a certain time frame, you watch other people's plays, and then you go put on your own, and it's a really fun experience.
Yeah, I think I heard as well from your dad, who's the director of Fine Arts, that you also give feedback to each other. I think that's the other part of... So there is a competition aspect of this. Everybody raising the bar. They're trying to act well. They're learning that methods and how to do that. Again, an intimate setting. We get to enjoy this community, cheer you all on, and you close out at a festival. And in the past, PCA actors and actresses have received group as well as individual recognition for how well they do, and we're just so proud of you guys. So what encouragement you give to younger students who are thinking about it, because we're doing Black Box for junior high, and I think even for the younger grades, we have 3 different productions. This year's is the most senior, obviously, going to festival. What encouragement would you give to aspiring actor or actress?
I would highly encourage doing the show because it's a really good community building aspect. Everybody in it always, or almost always, typically gets to get along really well. It's a good job. It's a good chance to get to meet some of your peers and get to do a better job because of it. I think the earlier you start, the better you'll become over time. It's a really, really fun experience, especially if you know who you're acting with, because like you're gonna mess up at practice sometimes, but we look back on those times and we laugh, even when we mess up in shows. I heard a story about your brother when he messed up a line, and he goes, "It's not spring, it's spring," even though that's very incredibly contradictory to what he had said seconds prior. Point being, very fun time. Please come act. We need actors, especially guys. We do not get a lot of guys, and it's really sad because there's a lot of fun male roles out there. We just don't have enough actors to support them, which holds us back from doing certain shows sometimes.
Right. I mean, it limits the selection of shows we can bring together. Julie, what would you encourage? How would you encourage younger actors and actresses, or those even thinking about it?
Like what Owen said, like it definitely is a big part of getting into the community and just trying something new. Sometimes it can be scary, but it's really, like, it's worth the experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, a little more personal. Getting in front of people, performing, carrying a story, that's just challenging. I mean, the greatest fear that they say in public, or there's public speaking for most people. Some people fear that more than they feel dying. But it's probably, my guess is, it stretched you personally, even possibly in your faith. Can you just sort of highlight how you've seen your willingness and your experience stretch you personally and the growth at this stage of your life? A highlight or two?
I think the show is, I think it brings you closer to God and to the people around you in the way that when you do the show, you are making a commitment. It's not one of those things you can just, oh, I'll kind of do it on the side. Once you're in it, you're in it. You eventually perform in front of other people. There's other people relying on you, and I don't mean that to scare anyone watching or listening, but it's you really saying, all right, I want to come together and work with this team. And when you put forth a lot of effort to it, you'll reap a lot of benefit because your show will go well. And I think ultimately being able to give that to God and using your talents is almost a way of thanking him for giving you those talents in my mind. So I think it's just a really good way to say, like, hey, God, thank you for giving me the ability to do this. I'm going to do it because it's something I love to do. And it's also a good way to, like I've been saying, really get that team building aspect because you get to meet some people. I've met some people in theater I probably would never have spoken to otherwise.
Right. Wow. Really cool.
Yeah. I through meeting people, I've definitely made a lot of new friends, but also just like knowing I can give like glory to God through everything I do and the way I perform, and just like that. Another thing is like diligence, just like putting my best effort into acting, and then at the end of performances, it's just like this is for God, and this is like a PCA show, Portsmouth Christian Academy, and it kind of just shows like where this like Christian school has brought me to my talents and how I can show that like this is all God. It's like not just from me.
Yeah.
So
really
that
cool.
that kind of like just it makes my faith a lot stronger, knowing like this is not for myself. It's not for like really anyone else, but the Lord.
All right, so Julie and Owen, clearly you're here. We're here together because you're an actress, you're an actor, but you're also a lot of other things when you look at you as students here, athletes. I know you both do athletics here. I know you both have academic interests. And then even beyond PCA, I imagine you're involved in other things in your community. So just give us sort of paint a picture beyond drama. What are some other things that are who you are, what you're interested in? Starting with you, Julie.
Yeah, like again with the fine arts, I'm just very involved with those. I love the fine arts, so I love drawing and like music. I do a lot of violin. I've done violin for a long time. And again with like sports, I definitely love playing soccer as well.
I mean, you guys are like semifinalists, quarterfinalists.
Yeah.
I mean, that team is a strong team.
Yeah, it's definitely a great experience doing all of those and all of the opportunities it gives. Yeah, it's great to be able to go into different things, but also like keep my schedule like not super hefty,
You're not totally crushed by all these.
Yeah. So like it's just a great opportunity, like as I'm going through high school, to be able to do all this stuff and just be involved in all that. And again with like academics, I have great teachers too. So whenever I need help, they give me help, and it's great to be able to exceed in academics, but also sports and theater and music and drawing.
All at the same time?
Yeah, all at the same time.
So what's one of your favorite classes right now?
Drawing.
Okay, fair enough. How about you, Owen?
I'm really, really big into cross country.
Yeah.
It's funny because cross country is such a weird sport in the way of when it begins, no one wants to do it, and when it ends, no one wants it to end. Okay. Because cross country is quite literally the punishment of other sports. Yeah. You do something wrong, go run laps. You don't run your laps right, go run more laps. I don't, but it's really, really fun because similarly to the show, it's really big on team building because you're all trying to self-improve, but also come closer as a team because of that, because you're really pushing yourselves forward and working on yourself and each other. So I really like cross country. It's a really fun experience. Luckily, the season of cross country is a different time than the shows, so I can safely do it. So I really enjoy that. I really enjoy Mr. Foley's class, Retton Comp. Really fun class. He's a really funny teacher, super down-to-earth guy. Highly recommend taking his class junior year. He's a lot of fun. The material we go over is a lot of fun. I really like the book we're reading right now, To Kill a Mockingbird. Gives some really interesting commentary on racial standings at the time. It's a very fun time.
So Julie and Owen, thank you both so very much for highlighting what's going on in the drama program. Ladies and gentlemen, can't wait to have you come see these two and their colleagues in action here for Black Box Theater. Please continue to pray for them, cheer them on, and we're so proud of you. We thank the Lord for both of you again, and your all those that are involved, students, the adults, your Kelly Connors and others who make all this happen. So God bless you as you go. Have a great month, everybody. So we just heard from some of our actors and actresses and talking about bringing you onto campus for some of our drama. One of the things I want to talk with you about, and one of our guests here, is about how we connect our community and then look off campus. So with me today is Kirsten Schultz, PCA Mom, volunteer, part of the auction team. Kirsten, you brought to me, it was late last year, the idea of creating the business directory for PCA. And so could you briefly just share with us a little bit of your PCA story?
Sure. So first, on the business directory, the idea was brought up by one of our volunteers, Karen, in an auction meeting about having an outside company do it. And I said, oh, well, I can do this. I've done that before, and my business is marketing. So this is exactly what I do for my clients. And so we kind of formed this idea as a way of connecting PCA family business owners. It's a win-win where they get to share about their business in a directory, and also all of the revenue generated from the business directory goes directly to variable tuition.
Right.
And my story is I'm incredibly grateful to be at PCA. We would not be at PCA if it wasn't for variable tuition. So I saw this as an opportunity to use my talents to give back.
We're so appreciative. And it's really been fun. I mean, this has been out how long?
A couple weeks?
Yeah, a couple weeks. So if you haven't noticed it, a link exists on the parent portal. So moms and dads, you can see it. We've put the link out other places, but that's one of the places that it lives. And we're really excited. So tell us a little bit about some of the other families you mentioned before we got going, that you got to meet some of them, and just tell us about the experience of just not only being in the business directory, being a part of building it.
Sure. It's been really great. I've been interacting with business owners, PCA family members that own businesses. For example, I created an ad for our landscaper that's in there, and then come to find out he's a parent of a child in my daughter's class. So we got to connect through that. And just to see the businesses that I didn't even know existed in our PCA family, I know that I want to support them, and I'm sure others will want to as well.
Yeah, I think one of the things we were talking about is, we hope every child will flourish here at PCA, your son and daughter, for everybody. But we also want our families to flourish. And we know that that many of our families are small business owners, or they're in small business, they're in small companies, medium companies, and we want to provide opportunities for them within the community to continue to grow and flourish in the Seacoast.
Right.
So it's really pretty cool. You've been a part of the Seacoast for a few years. Tell me a little bit about yourself, because you are a business owner, but you've also been involved as well. You mind sharing a little bit about your story?
Sure. So I am involved. I've lived in the Seacoast for quite some time, and I'm somebody that really likes to get involved in my community as much as possible. I served as a state rep in Somersworth, and in my town where I live now in Northampton, I'm very actively involved in the business community there. I'm the executive director of our business association, and I also serve on the Hampton Area Chamber of Commerce on their board. So I love to get involved in community and give back, and again, that's why I wanted to be a part of this.
Well, thanks for doing it. I mean, you've taken an idea and you've delivered it into a product, and we're just so thankful for that. If I'm a business owner and I'm a PCA community member, and I think we're thinking that obviously you're a PCA parent, possibly a grandparent, maybe even an alum, right? Absolutely. So I think if you know someone who's somehow tied to PCA and they would like to have their business represented, what should they do?
They can email me at businessdirectory@pcaschool.org, and we'll get them going.
Business directory at pcaschool.org. No dots, no dashes. Business directory. Get you going. If you want to download it as well, it's a PDF right now.
It is.
And so you can see there's some opportunities in here to also connect with you, but that's the way to get to you first and foremost. Well, that's terrific. Any parting words of encouragement you give to our community?
I'm happy to be here and be part of it, and I'd love to connect with other business owners that are also part of our PCA family.
Thank you so much, Kirsten. We so appreciate you. All right, God bless everybody. Be a part of the business directory.